So y'all, would y'all believe me if I told y'all that I used to do OF? Yeah, that's right. I was an OF girly. And I'm not gonna lie, the money was great. It was quick, fast, right? Right? But then the reason for me doing it is because of the money, obviously. Was I sleeping with other people? No. Um, I was doing, as it called, solo content. And at that time, I was doing COVID. And I had a job, but it was at a stand. The job was at a standstill and wasn't no money coming in. And I know you're like, well, why you just didn't blah, 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 blah. It's right. It's so easy to tell people what they shoulda, coulda, woulda did until you're put in that position where you just, it's do it the easy way. And there was this guy I was talking to, and he was like, I think he would be great, right? And boom, I started. I met a couple of, some of y'all favorite. If you're in that worldly stuff, some of y'all favorites. But needless to say, I say all of this to say that during that time, I was obviously living in sin, right? But I'm telling this story to say that it wasn't probably a year later or so many years later. It took some while, but God was still with me even in those times. I know I like, no, he wasn't, but God was tugging on me during that time because it was so many signs that I should stop. So many signs that people rather, he was placing around me that was you need to basically stop. And one of those individuals was somebody I was actually dating at that time. He was just like, you never know. Yeah, it's you're at home, you're in your comfortability, but at the same time, like, you don't know who's on the opposite side of the screen. And I felt like that person, even though they were kind of the pull towards me needing to, do it because they wasn't, helping at all. So it was like I said, when I say this, it's like it's always easier for the person on the outside end to tell somebody how they should or need to go about it when they're not placed in those situations. And I never was the type to judge girls who, what I'm saying? But like I said, you never know what somebody going through behind closed doors. You never should point a finger because, as you can see, when you point a finger, so many point back at you, and you never know when you're going to be placed in certain situations. A lot of y'all say, I would never. Yeah, I was one of those girls too. But, yeah, I say all this to say that if God can take me from there to bring me from where I'm here today, he can do the same for you. And I know y'all going to say, that money, yeah, that money is great. That money quick, easy, fast. And I'm still not going to butcher the girls who do it or the individuals that do it because I get it. Like, especially if you got kids or, again, you in a survival mindset and mode, like, especially as a mom, like, that type of love that you get for your kids is different. And I say this to say, like, I understand why Jesus loves us the way he loves us. Because it's like the sacrifice that God specifically gave up his son for us. You feel me? Like, that's a deep kind of love. Like, so yeah, I chose this route, and it's more of a testimony to tell y'all, we all have our own walk, and that looks different for everybody. So try not to judge somebody based off where they are today, because you never know where that person can be tomorrow, the next day, or a year from now. So just give a little bit more grace. Remember, I love you, but Jesus love you more.